What is up, legends? It's Mark here. Today is Tuesday, December 31st, and we got a lovely AMA. Ask me anything. It's going to be a pretty long form traditional Q&A, guys. Whatever questions you got about ecom, about mindset, about books, about spirituality, about the gym, about building your traps, whatever it is, just pop it in the chat. Let's make this a freaking good one. Full transparency, my connection is probably not going to be great. I am quite literally in the middle of nowhere right now. I'm currently in Patagonia in Argentina, looking out over this beautiful glacier in front of me. So I already see there's going to be some frames dropping, so I apologize in advance. I tested the connection, so we should be good, but you know the drill. Wherever you're listening in from, just put it in the chat right now. I'll get the chat pulled up right now. Let's make this a freaking good one, guys. Make it a good one. Let me know where you're listening in from. It's been a minute since we did a live, eh? Hope all you had an amazing Christmas. And man, I don't know what your guys' plans are tonight. For me, it's nothing. It's working pretty much. So whatever you guys got for me, let's pop it in the chat, man. Let's make this a great one. All right, got the chat pulled up here. Bradley, what's good, dude? Yo, Vale, what's up? Tam, what's up? Is this live? Yes, this is fucking live, man. Shit. Antoine, what's up, dude? We got Matthew from Canada. What is up? What is up? You know what we should do is, we should make this live. I don't want it to be all about mindset, but we should talk about how you can fucking destroy 2025 because I don't know about y'all, but I'm coming for everything this year. I am so freaking excited. I actually, because I'm in Patagonia right now, there was a period of like 2 days where I had no internet connection, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. And it's basically just for me to do a big ol' reflection on everything that happened this year. And I now have a personal game plan of how I'm going to fucking destroy it. So let's make this a great live, guys. Go ahead and pop your questions in the chat. Let's take it one by one. Let's change some fucking lives, man. Run more ads, change more lives. You know the drill. Guy, what's up, dude? 5-minute VSLs okay for my funnel? 100%, dude. I see short form VSLs crushing right now across a variety of brands. Typically, actually, like a 5-minute VSL to some type of advertorial or VSL funnel is destroying right now. So if you're talking about on the ad side, yes, I do believe that the shorter VSLs can destroy it. What I've noticed is that a lot of times with those shorter VSLs, however, they die quicker. For me, the longer a promotion is, and that's like direct response speak, right? It could be an ad, could be a landing page VSL, whatever. The longer it is, if you can get something to convert that's very, very long, you're gonna make a lot of fucking money because it takes a long time for something that is very long, like a long style copy. It takes a long time for that to die. Whereas like, a 60-second ad, a 5-minute ad, those will come and go, right? But you find one winning VSL that's like 30 minutes long, that's 40 minutes long. Bro, I mean, one of the most famous direct response promotions of all time is called the End of America VSL. This, if you convert it to a sales letter, 52 pages. This was over an hour and a half long. One of the greatest promotions in history. If you haven't read it, you absolutely should. You need to do your goddamn history. But notice, like that one ran for a really, really long time. And it's interesting. You also have people like Gary Halbert, who also ran one of the most successful offers of all time back in the direct mail days. Coat of arms letter is what it was called. He was printing $500,000 a day in direct mail. That means that he had to hire so many full-time employees just to go to the bank to cash the checks. Like that's crazy. He had to hire 20 full-time employees just to do bank runs. That's the history of direct response before the internet. Crazy. Anyways, don't get me going on direct response, man. Shit. The Watch, what's up, dude? From Boston. Mark, how many friends / connections in general did you lose when you dialed in on your craft? Dude, however many are necessary. I mean, I think that's a silly question to ask. What if I said all of them? Would it be worth it? The level to which you're willing to sacrifice something is a level to which you're willing to be rewarded with success. The most successful people in the world are willing to sacrifice everything, dude. Everything. They do not care. Friends, gone. Family, gone. Romantic relationships, gone. and then they have all the success. Of course, that's a trade-off. You need to decide for you what that level is and be ultra fucking clear. If you don't have clarity on what those boundaries is for you specifically, you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. You're going to not have the success that you want. Whatever it is, just decide for you. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh yeah. The new background, man, listen, I wanted to be in the dark, all right? But it gets dark so late here. Like it doesn't even get dark until like 1 or 2 in the morning. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I won't keep this live up. So if you're here, you better stay on. But we still got the no shirt, flecting the traps. You know the deal. Palace. All right, I'm not gonna finish that name. Somebody asked Max Bench. My max bench press, brother. I've done 385 for one singular rep. For context, I'm 6'2", 6'3". I weigh 225 pounds. So, it's not. It's like impressive. It's not crazy. That's just what I think. Oost, what's up, bro? Mario, from North Carolina, I need to join your one-on-one coaching tomorrow. This is my best resolution for 2025 because I used to fail dropshipping and TikTok shop, YouTube automation. I tried everything. Dude, I mean, look, I've said this before. I try to say this frequently in my videos. Everything works. Like, I can sit up here on my fucking high horse and be like, e-com is the best. And granted, I can argue e-com is great. Don't get me wrong. The truth is that they all work and they all have their pros and cons. For me, I like e-com the most because I personally believe it provides you with the most freedom. I've tried a lot of these business models before. Not many of them can provide you with the amount of leverage that e-com can. Specifically, you can have a very, very lean team, a small team, and still have a brand that does like 5 to 10 million a year. Not a lot of business models can you do that. And the best part, all the control is in my hands, right? You could argue that for, the same thing for like Amazon FBA. You could even argue that more so for Amazon FBA because they take care of the fulfillment for you. However, your beautiful business that you've worked day in and day out and you've just been grinding and gone, guess who has control of that? Mr. Jeff Bezos. Amazon has control and they can shut down anything that you have just like that, just because they don't like you. You look at them the wrong way. They're like, gone. So for me, Shopify, branded dropshipping, it's a great way to start going. Sonny Bampton, how do you do shrugs for the traps, bro? It's just like this. Remember Michael Jordan? Just simple as that. No, in all seriousness, man, I don't train traps. I think the reason that I have like well-developed traps is because I went through a period of about 4 years where I deadlifted religiously. And I was really obsessed with just getting my numbers up on deadlifting. My max deadlift now is like 595, 585, around there. But dude, I would deadlift like twice a week. A lot of times I would do volume deadlifts, which if you want to talk about some fucking psychological warfare, do deadlifts of like 20 to 30 reps minimum. My God, you want to fucking go some places? It's the same thing with high volume squats. Like it'll just take you places that you never get to experience in real life. It's just, you can only experience it in the gym. It's really quite a lovely place to go. Polo, 1 more minute. It's 2025. Instead of partying, I'm listening to the one and only GOAT. My guy, you're starting out 2025 on the right foot. Sorry, on the right foot. No, seriously, I appreciate you listening in. Everybody who's listening right now, just know you are separating yourself from everybody else right now. Maybe you're going to listen to this and then go fuck off for New Year's. I'm not here to judge. But for the few people that aren't, that are taking this time to fucking plan and to get serious about what they want to accomplish in 2025, this is for you. Because you're a lot like me. Gil, what's your opinion on organic? Dude, I think organic is fantastic if you have less than, let's say, $2,000 realistically to spend on paid ads. Paid ads are no fucking joke, dude. They are the textbook definition of you have to have money to make money. It's very, very rare that you can get into paid ads, specifically with dropshipping, and just be super duper profitable on day one with zero prior experience whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. If you're extremely creative and just happen to get the algorithms at that level, maybe you're a prodigy. If so, come work for me because I want you running my fucking ad accounts. But let's say that's not you. Organic is a fantastic way to get started, bro. I think it's crazy that we live in a time right now where you can take, you can have nothing, dude. You can have less than $10 to your name and you can build a 6-figure business with basically nothing. You buy a Shopify domain. Let's say it costs like $3. Most expensive, maybe 10. You can use a free theme. You can fulfill products after you get the money to pay for them. And you can market completely using organic. TikTok organic, TikTok shop, Instagram organic, YouTube organic, 100% organic traffic. It's crazy to me that you can get started in ecom like that right now. That used to not be a thing, 10 years ago. But now it is. Understand the point in fucking history that you guys are living in right now. The bar is extremely low. The only thing that's limiting you right now is your mind and your own creativity. If it were me getting started right now, man, and I had nothing to my name, 100% I would be doing organic dropshipping. I would open up a store. I'd find a product that's selling well organically. And then I would use my fucking brain, that little fucking organ between my two ears. I would use that to come up with unique content ideas that go viral and drive traffic to my brand. You can do all of that for less than $10. What a fucking time to be alive. Have some gratitude, bro, for how amazing of a time that you were lucky enough to be born in. You could have been born fucking 500 years ago. You could have been born 100 years ago. You'd be almost right in the middle of the fucking Great Depression. Have some perspective. Next question. What a rant. Wisdom, what's up, dude? The GOAT, what's up? TA Soma, thoughts on high ticket sales closing in the future? Is it gonna die? I don't believe it's gonna die, man. I think that there will always be some element of in-person high ticket sales that is necessary for some people. Some people, like you look at the largest car companies, or not, let me not say largest. Let me say some of the fastest growing car companies in history. I'll take Tesla as an example. I can go and buy a car without speaking to a salesperson. I think that's fucking amazing because typically, I got sales friends, and I say this to them all the time as a joke. Salespeople are not often the best people to speak with. Like you go up to a guy and you immediately have this veil over you that's like, oh great, it's a sales guy. But Tesla just completely removed that. You can go and buy a Tesla without experiencing any sales resistance whatsoever. Now, I do think that there's always going to be some element of interpersonal sales that is going to be alive and well. Like as long as you're in a capitalistic country, I really don't see it going anywhere. I think the info offers that use high ticket closers are only going to get larger and more populous over the next, reasonably speaking, like 3 to 5 years. I think it's not going anywhere. Beyond that, it's really hard to make predictions right now, especially with AI and everything. But that's what I think. Sunny, also religious deadlifter here, bro. A real one. Something about it, man. There's just something that feels so good about lifting an ungodly amount of weight off of the ground. Like something that is just 1% beyond what you were previously capable of doing. Like pulling a PR in deadlifts, not a lot of things that feel better than that, personal opinion. By the way, I see you guys, some people saying like, are you ignoring my question? Hey, there's a lot of fucking questions, all right? I'm trying to get to the questions that are going to benefit the most amount of people. So if I skip your question, womp womp, who cares? I'll try to get to it. I'm also like, I'm finding a question and then scrolling down because there's so many that are that are coming through. Oh, Polo, this is a good question, dude. What is the difference between a landing page and an advertorial? A landing page is like a blanket statement term of any fucking website page, basically. That includes a sales page, that includes an advertorial, that includes a jump page, a VSL page, an order page. Landing page is just a term that defines a page that you host on the fucking internet, right? Now, you can kind of divide that into substructures, right? So a landing page, the various types of landing pages that you can send to, let me fix this up a little bit. Right? What I typically tell people to do if you're doing over like $1,000 a day is to send people either to an advertorial page or to like a straight up sales page that's structured better than a regular PDP. So if like this is the ad right here, and then they're going to go directly to an advertorial page. So to answer your question, I know this is like, it sounds like a really roundabout way of what does fuck, yeah, advertorial, roundabout way of answering your question. But let's just say like advertorial, sales page, order page, right? Simple as that. I'm just going to stop right there because I don't need to go into more depth. OP for order page, SP for sales page. All of these are landing pages, bro. They're all landing pages. It's just like, which type are you running to? The only difference between these pages is one critical component that if you don't know what this word means, you need to open up a new tab and go by breakthrough advertising right now. And that is levels of awareness. How aware are they of your product? So for example, the advertorial funnel is very unique in that it's specifically targeting a different level of awareness. Now there's more that goes into an advertorial funnel. Yes, of course. But the main differentiating factor is that you're not immediately, like after somebody clicks on the ad, they land on your website, you're not immediately going like, hey, buy my shit, buy. You're not doing that because customers don't like that. Shocker, right? You're seeing them on their website be like, hey, this other person had the same product as you, problem as you, and they wrote this amazing article talking about how it just happened to solve the biggest problem in their life. You should check it out. And then slowly it's kind of convincing them from a third person's perspective of how amazing the product is. And then that feeds them to the sales page after that. That's really the biggest difference in landing pages is simply the level of awareness. And that is a fundamental concept. I know it's so simple to understand, levels of awareness, but I'm telling you right now, the people that are experts, that are masters of what they do, they know how to do the fundamentals extremely well. And the fundamentals are things like levels of awareness, stages of sophistication, unique mechanisms, channeling mass desire, etc. All right? Good. Cool. Next question. When talking about organic dropshipping, what products would you sell on and what platform? Dude, right now TikTok Shop is a phenomenal opportunity. I'd get on TikTok Shop 100,000%. Second to that is just regular TikTok organic. Third to that is Instagram organic. Fourth to that is YouTube organic. I actually think Instagram organic is super slept on. The way that the algorithm for Instagram Reels right now is functioning reminds me a lot of like the golden days of TikTok. TikTok, the algorithm got nerfed a little bit in my opinion. Because initially Instagram Reels, like the only purpose of Instagram Reels was just to repost TikToks. Like the question you should ask yourself is, where is the original content being generated? And initially it was all on TikTok. But after COVID, like everything that happened there, the algorithms changed a lot. Like they introduced a lot of bullshit and started moderating a lot of content, blah, blah, blah. Now, I see a lot of original content being posted on Instagram first, and then it's being distributed into other platforms. So those two, I would say, are kind of hand in hand. YouTube would be fourth, but TikTok Shop right now, man, is a phenomenal opportunity. G Money, what's good? Mark, how important do you think website design is? I ran an ad on TikTok, it got 300 clicks, but no sales. Dude, I think it's super important, but I want you to change your mindset a little bit because website design is a term that's used by NPCs and noobs who don't know how to make any money online. So let me help you out, all right? Website design is used by people that want to make your website look good, okay? And let me tell you something. When it comes to running ads, you know what doesn't matter? If it looks fucking good. Nobody cares, all right? I'm telling you right now from experience, I have ran some ugly websites before, And they have destroyed the websites that I've ran that look like pristine web design masterpieces. And you know why? It's because simplicity scales. Okay. And a lot of times, like that's why I hate as marketers, one of the most dangerous, all right, let me say this again. One of the most dangerous things that you can do as a marketer is make assumptions. If you don't think that your website looks good, that doesn't mean that your customer is going to think the same thing, especially if you're selling to a vastly different customer than the one that you are yourself. For example, if I'm selling to women ages 50 to 65 who struggle with knee pain, who am I to say that the website doesn't look good? I'm making an assumption based off of my perceptions and my beliefs about what my customer is going to think about the website. There's a saying that we use in marketing, which goes, what was it? It's something along the lines of ugly landers equals pretty profits, or ugly ads, pretty profits. Ugly whatever, pretty profits, right? You get the difference? So don't worry about web design. Be a fucking Chad and call it CRO, conversion rate optimization. I don't care what my websites look like. I care about what converts the best. Now, that's specifically on paid traffic. If you're running a brand long term, then you want to have specific landing pages associated with the brand that are all in on the beautiful, custom designed, it looks like a fucking Michelangelo masterpiece, okay? But for direct response shit, you're playing a game of numbers, conversion rate optimization. Every person that lands on your website, you're paying fucking money for. Would you rather have somebody that you pay money for to land on your website and be like, wow, this is such a beautiful design later? Or would you rather have somebody come to your website and be like, wow, here's my credit card? You see the difference? One of them is based off aesthetics and what people say about you. And the other is based off of what puts fucking money in your bank account, right? Very important difference. Exactly. Great copy and high CRO design is better than web design. You know what I mean? Hey, Mark, having $600 in budget for Facebook ads is enough? Thank you. Truthfully, dude, I wouldn't recommend it. I typically tell people $2K set aside to start spending on Facebook ads. Trevor, tips for handling Chinese New Year. I would need a little bit more detail, man, about your brand, but let's just say you're like starting dropshipping straight off the ground from the rip. Golden rule of thumb is start communicating with your suppliers now and place orders in advance so that you can fulfill the orders that you're selling in February and March. Pretty simple. If you can send some stock to a 3PL and you have the budget to do so, absolutely do that. But you need to do that now. You need to do that fucking yesterday. Because by the time the order gets there and it gets all processed within your 3PL and everything, it's already going to be a month anyways. And at that point, you're now at January 31st, getting dangerously close to Chinese New Year. Next question. Yo, where do I find good pre-landing pages? I made a pre-landing page and got 0 people to my PDP. Dude, that's a great. I'm laughing out of empathy because that's happened to me before too. A typical good conversion rate, dude, from pre-lander to sales page is around 30%. So if you get 100 people there, you should see 30% actually go through to the next page. But obviously you're not seeing that; you're seeing 0. So, in order to model some good guys, I love using the method of looking at native competition. So you go to a website like CNN, like Fox, like weather.com. You're going to scroll down until you see the sponsored post section. I would do it right now, but I'm pretty sure that would fucking crash my laptop because it's such a heavy website. My internet is already shit. So I'm just going to tell you verbally. You'd go and find sponsored posts and click on an ad, look at the similar web, how much traffic are they driving, reverse engineer why it's working for yourself. Pretty simple. I also have a resource on this, by the way. So let's say if you go to my Instagram and I need to come up with a keyword because I don't have one created, but go to my Instagram, bro, and I actually have literally a document with all these successful advertorial pages by niche. So you can see for the pet niche, for the health niche, for the gadget niche, advertorial, VSL. I have them all. It's like a massive fucking swipe file. Super dope. So if you go to my Instagram and you DM me the word let me think of one. Hold on. DM me the word. There, how fucking confusing is that? That way, only people who are watching here are actually gonna get it. DM me the word, literally WORD, and that'll be my cue for me to send you that resource. Okay, but it's a super super good resource for you to have. So if you're watching the recording, you can still do it. But yeah, DM me the word. That'll be funny. Yo. This guy, you got to tell me how to pronounce your name, bro. I don't know how to pronounce Cyrillic, but I would love to learn. Are advertorials good for jewelry brands? Honestly, yeah, it's going to have to depend on the jewelry. Typically, no, dude, just being real with you. But I'm just brainstorming in my mind, and it's not like, oh, is advertorials going to work? Is this going to work? Is that going to work? It comes down to your copy, right? And if you're good at writing like really emotional copy and you can sell a jewelry product that is solving a highly emotional problem, think of like if you guys know Shine On, the company, the jewelry company that does like basically fulfillment in the United States, and they sell these products with like personalized messages on them about Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, shit like that. But it's highly emotional, right? Um, I bet you could crank out a fucking dope advertorial for that, dude. I really do. I bet you could create a really highly emotional story, um, turn it into an advertorial, or alternatively, you could turn that into a listicle and just do like the 5 reasons why I bought XYZ for my partner or something like that, or for my wife, or for my husband, for my son, for my daughter, for my grandma, etc. So if that's the type of jewelry that you're selling, I think that I would actually be really interested if you do that. You got to DM me on IG because I kind of want to see how that goes. Logically, yes, you can make it work. I don't see a lot of people doing it, but that's not to say, you know, it's gonna fucking work. Yeah, I think it's possible, bro. Nick White, dude, this is a good question, man. Why are you sharing this with us if you make millions? So I'm guessing you're just referring to me putting out content at all. Like, why not keep it all? Why not gatekeep it all, right? Well, dude, here's the thing. Um, 6 years ago, I was dead broke. I had college debt. I had a single mom who raised me, and I had a little bit of money saved aside to start my own business. And during this time, I was burning money, man. Like every month I'd be down like another $1,000 basically net. Like I would make some sales, but net I'd be losing thousands of dollars. I blew through all my savings to the point where I wasn't going to be able to afford my next payment for tuition because I burned through all my money. During this entire process, bro, I was binging every single fucking dropshipper YouTuber out there. Any of the names that you mentioned, I like from years ago. Many of them are gone, by the way, which is interesting. Um, I digress. I was binging them all, and for the most part, there was so much gatekeeping, there was so much fluff, and I felt like everybody was doing the same thing, and I would copy their strategy, fucking 1-to-1. And you know what happened? I kept losing money. And so the reason that I started this, number one, is because making money, like just like doing everything yourself just so you can make yourself more rich, is a really lonely and unfulfilling journey, right? If I get a DM from somebody who says, which happens frequently, by the way, says, "Hey Mark, I followed all your free YouTube content. I'm doing like 75K a month now. I'm doing 500K a month." I've gotten those DMs, exactly, all from my free YouTube content. Like if I can do, that's what I didn't have when I was starting out. That's the real reason for me doing this. And at the same time, ecom is so big. I know you guys on YouTube. Hopefully, I can change your mindset a little bit on this, but I can't even tell you how big e-commerce is, guys. It's like in the fucking trillions, multi-trillion-dollar industry. If I shared everything and I made every single fucking person that is on this live right now a millionaire tomorrow, do you know what would change? Nothing. So this is really my way to give back. And of course, like I'm not gonna sit up on my high horse and be like, "Oh, I have no ulterior motive. I just want to give for free." I give everything for free away on my YouTube. And if you happen to want to work with me closer, I have a mentorship program. That's me being honest. If you want to check it out, it's the first link in the description. You can apply. We don't take everybody. That's why I don't just like go and sell a course to everybody, right? Because then I can make a whole lot of money and I would have zero impact most likely. Mentorship, I can help people on a more closely basis. My team can help them grow that way. So long story short, that's why I did it. Kupel, Mark, are you going to drop the video on how to write scripts or make creatives, especially structure yourself? Was really interested in more advanced stuff. Dude, 100% I am. That was actually one of the things that I was planning out over the past few days. It's going to be so fucking good, man. I'm actually really excited. But I didn't have like any internet or any service, any connection at all. And I was just playing the shit out, man. So I have actually 2 really, really good tutorials coming for you guys in the next 1 to 2 weeks. One is that full creative tutorial, and then the other is going to be the funnelish tutorial, because I know I have a lot of guys asking about that as well. So I promise you, I haven't forgotten. Stay patient. Trust the process. What would you upload your videos as podcasts? Dude, I would. Maybe I should. Was there a lonely time in your come up where you didn't have friends to hang out with? I mean, dude, in my come up, I just zoned everything out, dude. Like everything. There's even a point where like I was in college, I started to make money. I stopped going to my classes. And I was just like, I'd rather like mathematically, I would rather use that time to grow a business that would actually make me money. I was like, why am I going to like fucking Eastern European literature class at 9 in the morning when I could be working on my business? Like it just didn't make sense to me. So that's why. What do you think is a realistic revenue goal for a beginner to aim for? Dude, 1K a day, bro. It's maybe a little typical, but that's the first fucking benchmark you got to make. I'll never forget my 1K day, the first 1K day that I made. Because while I crossed that mark, I wasn't working, which was kind of crazy. I went to a baseball game with my family and I just pulled it up on my phone. I was like, refresh, 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 refresh. And I hit it there, which was crazy because like the freedom thing clicked for me. I was like, oh, you can actually have the freedom that people talk about. It's real. And that was kind of a mind-blowing moment for me. So I'd say that's the first one. I typically say don't think too much in the short term. So like make your $1,000 day and then move your timeline from like days to months and then from months to years. So after you hit like $1,000 day, I'd focus on 100K a month. And then I'd focus on, after that, probably like $5 million a year. That's what I'd focus on. Yadiel, why aren't you showing flashy things? I always see everyone else flexing. You don't really do that. And yeah, there's a reason why my channel is growing so quickly. I think people are really tired of the people that are flashing all their shit. And it's never really been my thing. I have a few nice things, but I don't need to convey my status by showing my nice car or watches or where I live. I don't need to do that to show you that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I can just talk about it. You know what I mean? I can speak about it because I'm actively doing it day in and day out. I don't see a lot of people that can do that, right? There's a reason I can hop on these lives and talk for hours with confidence. It's because I actually know my shit. I have competence that I've built up over years of trial and error, years of investing in myself. So that's my way to show you that I know what I'm doing. Dude, I see you asking this question a few times. How can I launch my funnel store to public? It's a simple setting in the funnel setting, man. Just look at their help docs. It's very easy. All right, I'm scrolling down to the bottom. Hey, bro, quick question. Is video editing worth it to learn right now? and you think it'll be replaced by AI, dude, if you asked me a few years ago, I would say that video editing is a high income skill. Um, to an extent, it still is, but you have to be so much better than everybody else and have good sales skills to actually make any real money. I have some friends of mine that run well, it's technically like a content agency where they do a short form and long form for some of the biggest like make money online creators. Names that if I told you, I'll be like, yeah, I know who that is. One of the guys that runs that is a good friend of mine, and I honestly think that learning anything to do with persuasion and sales is now a better use of your time because the ability to use AI when it comes to editing is advancing so quickly. I do think it's going to be one of those skills that is replaced a lot faster than anything else. So I like just learn sales. Learn how to convince random people to do things for you. Learn how to convince random strangers on the internet to whip out their credit cards and pay you money. Best skill ever. You know, call it what you want. Call it copywriting, call it like sales, call it whatever. If you can do that, you'll never worry about money the rest of your life. If you look at the top like side hustles, like copywriting, remote closing, even like video editing, you still have to convince somebody that you don't know that you can do something for them that makes them money. That is like the root skill that will never be really replaced. It'll be enhanced by AI, replaced maybe in the future, but definitely not in the short-term future. Christopher Boswell, you don't think saturated products concept exists? So with good ads set, a great website slash landing page, and a good offer, is it worth to go for a pie of the cake, right? So it's not that I don't think saturated products exist, man. I think that all products exist on a spectrum of competition. So like the more competitive products are going to be over here, and the less competitive quote unquote untapped products are going to be over here. The question is, where do you want to find your products on this scale? Do you want to go here with you being literally the very first person, the first mover to the market, where you're selling something that is untapped, unproven, and that you don't have any proof if anybody actually wants it? Or do you want to sell something that actually is probably like right around here, that actually has a good amount of demand, good amount of attention, you know that people are buying it, and you see that there's a competitor that you can do something better. There's a competitive advantage that you can compete on that they're not currently competing on, right? I made a video on this a few videos ago. It's so fucking good, man. I don't see fucking anybody talking about this. But that's the answer to the question. So like if you are able to find a good competitive advantage, for example, let's say that you compete on your funnel, right? You have a really good AOV and you have a really good conversion rate, then it doesn't matter how saturated the product is. Even if your CPA is fucking double your competition that got there earlier, you can still outcompete them and make great money because your funnel is so damn profitable. That's kind of the center of my philosophy. Next question. Uh, Mewbury, don't know how to say the name. Sorry. What is the requirements for your mentorship and how much do I need? Is it enough 4K? Yeah, that is enough, dude. What I would do is click the first link in the description of this video and fill out an application. So every single person that wants to join BBA, Brand Builders Academy, this program that I own with Alex Fedotov, you have to submit an application. Because even if you say like, Mark, I got 20 grand, get me into BBA. We're like, whoa, just because you have the money doesn't mean that you're going to be a good fit for the program. Okay. That's why I don't just send everybody to course. Like I said, it's because there is a pretty strict qualification process that we put people through. We want to make sure you have the right mindset before you even get in, because if you get in with the wrong mindset, guess how much money you're going to make? Donut, nothing. So hopefully, hopefully that answers your question. Polo, Mark, my man, what does it require to get to 1 million a month? 20 new creatives a day or more? I know it's more ads, but question is how many more? Look at this. This hasn't dropped yet, by the way. You guys are getting a fucking sneak peek. That's the message right there, but you already got that, right? So to answer your question, 20 creatives a day, I would start with how many per week, man. To do a million a month, I mean, we've had a brand that does a million a month testing 20 creatives a week. I would shoot for like 20 to 30 as your starting point and then reverse engineer. Because there's a really good quote by, I don't know if it was Hormozy that said it or somebody else, but the concept is basically do more. When doing more stops working, do better. When doing better stops working, do something new. So the first thing that you need to check off is doing more, simply testing more creatives. After you get to like 30 creatives and you go from 30 to 50, for example, which I've tested 50 creatives in a week, doesn't always increase your output, right? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't, that means you need to make better creatives. So you go from doing more to doing better. After you're doing better, there's a point where doing better doesn't get you results, in which case you have to do something new. So that's a really good like mental framework you can use with anything, but especially with creatives. I have $100. Should I invest it in crypto? Should I invest it in something else? Put it all on black. In reality, bro, that was a joke. If you only have $100, man, that's got to be invested in yourself 100%. Like, that is. Oh, man, my connection just got so shit. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. My voice should be good. The video may cut off, but my voice is still here, all right? So to answer your question, dude, if you only have $100, man, you got to take that shit and invest it right back in yourself. Even something as simple as a book is probably what you want to do there. Yeah, it's just not enough. Long story short, invest in a book or invest it in some way for you to learn a high income skill, because that money needs to come back to you. Investing is not a one-way transfer. It's not like you buy a book and you're like, oh, goodbye money and never see you again. No, it's like you invest it so that you can see it come back in multiples. So investing in a skill set that can continually return you the money is a fantastic investment. Did you ever drop that Excel document that would help beginners? I don't remember which one you're talking about, dude. I remember I talked about a P&L document, but it's not for beginners at all. It's for more advanced people, and I didn't drop it. So maybe you're referring to another one. Let me know. The pre-orders will be live at some point. I don't have a date yet. How many cigars do you smoke a month? Too many. Look, every man has a vice. Not every man is willing to be honest with himself about what that vice is. I am. Bengal, would you say you focus more on making your creative around strictly selling the product, or try to have them more as like native like content where the product sells itself? Uh, Hate to be this guy, man, but you got to test both. This is where I've alluded to a few times where I ran some ads that had ridiculously high click-through rates. And this is on like a standard purchase conversion campaign on Facebook. They had click-through rates of like 10% on average. There were some that were like 15, which, it's cool flex, cool little flex. How much money did it make me? Not a lot. um, the sweet spot is figuring out how much selling you should be doing in the ad versus how much selling in the landing page. So there just needs to be congruency between the ad and the landing page itself. I will say this: if you do one of those more top of funnel creatives that has a significantly higher conversion rate, you're not really selling as much. You're just kind of like doing what we call selling the click and getting curiosity clicks. The problem with that is that if you don't have really good fucking copy on your landing page, it's not going to work. Because you have to take it's almost like a bait and switch. It's not, because it's just marketing, but you have to write really, really good high level copy on the lander to get people to actually whip out their credit cards and buy, because you got the click, right? You got the easy part. Actually clicking is the easy part. What's hard is get people to fucking buy. Okay, I'm gonna take a second to answer this question because I get so many DMs of the whole like cold outreach game. Most of you guys suck so bad, and it actually frustrates me. The question is, when you're doing copywriting, what did you do to find prospects? Because I've DM'd over a lot of people, but at some point I kind of run out. look, I'm not even going to tell you how to do your fucking outreach. I'm just going to tell you as a business owner, I get, no joke, probably 20 DMs just on Instagram alone of people pitching me. It's one of a few things. It's either video editing, email list management / copywriting, high ticket closer, high ticket setter, creating thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Whatever it is, 99.999% I immediately disregard because they're so bad. I look at them though. So if you're good enough, I'll read the DM. If you're really good, I'll respond to it. So let me tell you something. I was looking to hire a copywriter for my business this year in January. And I went through this application process. And I actually ended up hiring a young dude. He was 19 years old at the time. I hired him for my business to write my copy. That's a big role to take on, right? And the reason that I picked him over anybody else, over all the other people DMing me, the reason that I picked him is because he did something that nobody else did. And it's actually a very, very simple principle that a lot of you could probably stand to learn a little bit from. And it's simply going above and beyond. The pitches in the DMs are so fucking bad. It's, hey, by the way, do you have an email list? Hey, you doing anything with emails right now? Hey, blah, 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 emails. Hey, I'll rewrite your, hey, stop, all right? Stop asking. When I was fucking 18 years old, I DM'd a lot of guys on Instagram, but I DM'd one guy in particular that later became my mentor. Very, very successful entrepreneur in the space. His name is Craig Ballantyne, if you want to look him up. I got the receipts. I DM'd him, but I didn't say, hey, Craig, I'll write some copy for you for free. That still takes work from me. You know what I mean? There's no value exchange. If you're the person that's DMing me and you're trying to do your cold outreach, right? You bring value to the table first. So what I told Craig, and even back in the day, this was not like, if I were doing it now, I would do it completely differently. But what I did is I knew everybody's already going to be DMing him in the first place. So I have to be different. I'm not going to send a text. I'm going to send video. So I sent video. And it was me, I'll never forget recording this video. It's me recording video on my fucking cracked iPhone and saying, hey, Craig, I know this is really random, but I've been following you for a while. I love your content. I feel like I have so much to learn from you, blah, blah, blah. This is word for word what I said. Summer's coming up. I will work for you for free for the next 90 days. I don't care what it is that I do, but I promise by the end of those 90 days, I'll be so valuable to you and your business that you'd rather pay me than lose me. That's what I said. Now, if you send that DM to me now, I'm not going to respond to it because that's not a good enough pitch. That's what I did. If I were doing that now, I would come with the value immediately. So whatever skill set I have, I would go right to this person. So back to the story about my copywriter that I hired, he did one thing that nobody else did. He actually created like a whole basically copywriting avatar deck that was like 10 pages long about my specific business before I even hopped on the interview with him. Do you see the difference? It's so easy. This is what people mean when I say it's so easy to get ahead because so many people are so fucking lazy. Stop going to people with your hands out like this, being like, hey, can you give me something? Fuck that. Stop asking. Give them something of value first. Build the landing page, write the copy. And in fact, write the copy and then run it on ads. Make it convert first. Because even if you write the copy for me, that doesn't mean fucking anything. Doesn't mean it's going to convert. That's from someone like you. You don't have any type of resume. Go with value first. And that doesn't mean, hey, if my copy doesn't perform, you don't pay. I didn't want to pay in the fucking first place. Rant's over. I apologize. I probably just missed like 30 fucking questions. So whatever you guys sent, you're going to have to resend it. Next question. A social bra. How'd you go about getting out of a dopamine hole? That's a fantastic mechanism. I love that. I caught some momentum and made some decent money online, but dug myself super deep and it feels really hard to get out of. So if I was giving advice to myself, dude, I'm a person that lives at the extremes, right? If you go in one direction in the extreme, means you have to counterbalance it by going to the other extreme, which means if you were in a super, super dopaminergic environment, guess where you got to go? Detox, bro. And then when you come back, you can't go right back to where you were previously. Where you have to go is you have to set up systems so that you don't rely on your own willpower to fall back into the same habits. One of my favorite quotes of all time is that you shouldn't set goals, you should set systems, because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. That's why I feel some type of way about goals, and I don't even set goals for myself, really. In fact, when I was doing my reflection this year, none of it really contained, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's just all around the process, because I love the fucking process. And when you focus on the process and the inputs and your controllables, the outcome naturally accomplishes itself. So long story short, dude, if you go in one extreme, you're in a hole, you got to go to the other side. Go to a super, super detoxed anti-dopamine state for a few days. I always feel amazing when I get out of those states. The trick is you can't go right back into it when you get back. I'm not actually a fan of detoxes for that reason. But for you, dude, if you're anything like me, I think that it would work well for you. Oh, I love this question, bro. G Money, shout out to you for this question, man. What energy do you use to fuel your work? Is it negative or positive? Some say use anger, and others say enjoy your work. All right, dude. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When I got started, everything was centered around anger. Everything. I was very, very negatively motivated. In fact, I got really, really deep into what we call the shadow. The shadow is a term invented by this philosopher named Carl Jung. And it's basically everything about yourself that you hate, that you despise, personified into the shadow, right? And I actually had the opportunity to go to an event where Tom Bilyeu was speaking. One of the entrepreneurs I look up to the most. He built Quest Nutrition, sold it for $1 billion, loaded, and has a story very similar to mine. And I asked him this question. I said, Tom, tell me about the dark side. How can I productively use that to make myself more money? And he proceeded to tell you everything I just told you, with one caveat, which is that he told me, Mark, the one thing about the dark side is you don't want to spend more than 20% of your time there. It is very productive, it is very effective, but it is also very dangerous. If you spend more than 20% of your time in the dark side and using that negative energy to fuel you, what happens is it basically overcomes you to the point where you're destructive to the people around you. So I think that integrating your shadow into who you are individually is a super, super healthy thing for you to do. For you to be motivated by anger, no more than 20% of the time, for you to be motivated by guilt, by shame, by frustration, I believe that's actually extremely healthy if you use it productively. It's called transmutation. You take the existing energy that you're feeling, anger, fucking hate, you want to prove this fucking person wrong. You transmute that energy into productive energy. Because the reality of the situation, dude, is when it's fucking 3 a.m., you've been working on your business all day, and you have more shit to do, you can't sit back and be like, oh, everything is good, sunshine, rainbows, I'm so motivated to get to work. Fuck no, bro. You have to channel the fucking shadow for you to push through those walls. The shadow is productive. It's just dangerous. You don't want to spend too much time there. So for me, the cues, as many of you know, I'm very like musically minded. So I'll listen to some dark fucking music, and I'll let that emotion overcome my body. Obviously, I'm not going to want to talk to anybody during this time. It's probably late at night or early in the morning in the first place. It's just going to be me, and the work and the energy is just flowing through me in a productive way. And when that's done, guess what? You feel great. You feel great. It's for me, it's really the people that that don't acknowledge the shadow or that try to repress the shadow that are most dangerous in this world. If you want to read more about that, Obviously, Carl Jung is the originator. I would also look into Robert Greene. He talks a lot about the dark side. And everything I just told you is actually in a chapter of the book all about the dark side called The Laws of Human Nature. I would really recommend you read that book. ENT, dude, these lives are so much better than going to college. I wish I had these fucking lives when I was in college, man. I got a friend making $16K a month from his branded e-commerce business. That's dope. He spent $15K in ads. Never mind, that's not dope. How do you avoid falling into that situation? I don't want to return all my revenue to Facebook. Bro, I hear you. Long story short, dude, you have to figure out what the constraint is. So what I would tell him, if you're like talking to your friend and you're like trying to give him some advice, is you have something that's working. It's just not working well enough to the point where you're profitable. So you have something that people want, they're buying it, and there's some breakdown that's occurring that's making your ads unprofitable. So if this is the ultimate problem that we have in this case, your ads not being profitable, you just have to drill down on what the actual root cause of the issue is. And then from there, the solution is typically pretty simple. So what I like to do is I always like to classify it into one of two constraints. It's either a funnel related constraint or it's an ads related constraint. So I made a whole video on this. Can't remember what the name is, so you may have to, I believe it's about 5 or 6 videos ago, so you may have to like binge a few, and I literally go through this exactly right here. The difference between people that are successful in dropshipping and not successful is the not successful ones, they spend money, they make a little bit back, but not enough for them to be profitable, and they're like, fuck it, it's the product, move on, that's it. And they just repeat the process over and over and over again. And over and over and over again. You, on the other hand, as a successful dropshipper, entrepreneur, you spend some money on ads, creatives, whatever. You make a little bit of money back. You're still unprofitable, and you ask why. Why were my ads not profitable? Why was my funnel not profitable? Was it a funnel constraint or was it an ads constraint? If it's an ads constraint, it's going to be pretty clear because you're going to have a high CPC, you're going to have high CPMs, you're going to have a low CTR. Basically, your creatives aren't good enough. And the solution to that is typically pretty simple. 90% of the time, it's just, hey, make better creatives. And then the other 10% of the time, it's, hey, adjust your targeting a little bit. In fact, I would even say it's like 95% creatives. It's really like, it's creative is the fucking name of the game, guys. I can't even say it enough. The other side is the funnel constraint. So if it's a funnel constraint, you'll have a low conversion rate and a low average order value. So it's really just like, okay, he spent all this money on ads and he wasn't profitable. Why? Was it a funnel problem or an ads problem? Sometimes it's both. But the cool thing is you can figure out what the solution is really easily. You have to identify what the real proper constraint is. Because a lot of people, they just spend money, they don't make it all back, and they're like, oh, this is a scam, stupid fucking product, and they move on. Don't be that guy. Next question. Have you tried Saudi, Qatar, and Emirates markets? I haven't, dude, just because I don't know what the logistics look like there, but could be some cash there. Could be some serious cash there. What are your thoughts on meme coins? They're fucking fun, man. They're fucking fun. You just gotta keep a really close eye on them. I both made and lost a lot of money on meme coins. Do you watch John Zerka? No, dude. How do you transition from basic basic bitch product page to sophisticated funnel? What software do you use to create funnels? How long are your creatives on Facebook? Are advertorials older? Okay, that was like 5 fucking questions in one. All of which I've answered before, but I'll speed run it for you. So number one, you want to use Funnelish. Ideally, you can, if you want to stay on Shopify, you can use Gem Pages, but I have something separate for all my cold acquisition. I use Funnelish because it has more customization, more features, etc. So that's the software that I use. How long the creatives on Facebook? What's working best right now is those shorter form VSLs, anywhere from like 3 to 7 minutes. Are advertorials only for your older audiences? No, that's a misconception. It's just that you suck writing copy to younger people. Now, if you're not like a fantastic copywriter and you don't have like a proven track record, then yeah, I'd stick to the older markets. For advertorials, what is better to test, picture ads or video ads? We run more video because it brings more higher quality traffic to the landing page. So like same argument as I said before, dude. Like you can have ads that have super high CTRs, but then the quality of the traffic that's going to the landing page is not going to be as high, in which case your conversion rate is going to tank. But it's like pick your poison. Long story short, I would test both. This is hilarious, bro. Not a question, just wanted to say thank you. Woke up 7 a.m., drank a piss magnet, white monster. That's so true. Read 25 pages. Okay, so you drank the white monster to read 25 pages. An hour of Japanese lessons, hour workout, an hour of business YouTube slash research. I mean, shit, dude. If white monster's not going to do that, what else will, you know? Nice. I will try to save this live, guys. I see some people asking. How much would you set aside for ads if your business is worth 8K? How do you know your business is worth 8K? That's my question. Maybe you have like an 8K budget. Typically, regardless, dude, I recommend at least 2K set aside for ads. Yo, why is bro not in a dark room, bro? Dude, you didn't see me earlier, man. Here, I'll give y'all a quick sneak peek. I'm in Patagonia. I'm in Argentina right now. But check this out. See if I can get it to focus. Wow, so beautiful. Look at that. It's actually pretty wild because I feel like it's all so green where I'm at right now, but there's a glacier right behind it. It's pretty cool. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I love it. Oscars, what does your diet look like? I mean, I have a pre-workout meal, high in carbs, like oatmeal with some protein, and go train, go work out, and then have a high carb post-workout meal with a lot of protein, and then usually have like some chicken and rice as a small meal, and then later at night I'll usually have like my fattier red meats like steak and rice. And my goals, like to hit my personal fitness goals, I need to be consuming around 225 minimum grams of protein. I need to consume around 110, 120 grams of carbs just post workout. It's really interesting because there's so many like entrepreneur bro diets out there. There's like carnivore, there's meat based. I've tried most of them. I'm happy to talk more about my experience on them. But for me, like I really like being in good shape, you know? And the reality of the situation is, in terms of like building muscle, some of these diets are just shit at helping you build muscle. Like carnivore, for example, you don't consume any carbs, right? You're almost in like ketosis, right? Because you shouldn't by definition be consuming any carbs. However, we know very well that for you to convert your food into energy quickly, that the best way to do that is through consuming carbs pre-workout and post-workout, because it helps aid in protein synthesis. So I can go into more depth on that if you guys are interested, but that's why I have the diet that I do. It's very, very counterintuitive. It's not something I post on my fucking Instagram stories and shit because it's not super sexy, but hey, it worked well for me. Viva Argentina! Can you go into how to build the OTOs as structure? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I can quickly go over it, bro. So The biggest thing that people misunderstand about OTOs is two things. Number one is like fucking yourself up before you ever even start, right? And what I mean by that is you don't want to pick a product that you sell on the front end and then an upsell. You want to pick the product with the upsell in mind first, and then like have the upsell already in mind by the time that the product is selling. Because not every front end product that you sell is going to have a perfect upsell every single time. But you want to start with the end in mind, which means you start with the upsell in mind. So that's the first thing. It's just like making sure that the product is, I don't know what I was drawing here, but just making sure that the product that you're upselling is actually the natural upsell in the process. So what I tell people is that every product they're trying to sell on the front end should do two things. It should solve one problem and create another. Solving one problem is like the main thing that is solved. Let's say it's like back posture corrector, whatever, helps you have better posture and eliminate your back pain. Cool, one problem solved. What's the next problem? What problem did that create? Whatever the answer is to that question should be the product that you're selling in the OTO. Okay, so that's just like, that's not really the structure. That's just like a big mistake that I see people sell. If you want to have really high take rates, you can't just try to like squeeze in the upsell product and just like pray to God and hope that it works out for you. That's just not going to work. Now, aside from that, in terms of structuring the OTO, I do typically VSL with a simple overview of the product and an FAQ below that. So like what it would be is if this is like, let me see. So if this is the landing page, there'll be like the VSL video here. There'll be a time delay on the button here. And then at the same time that the time delay appears with the call to action button, you will also have a little offer stack overview of the product and everything that you're getting. So let's say it's like bundle 1, bundle 2, bundle 3. And then beneath that, there's just going to be FAQ. Maybe some reviews right there. So that's typically like the structure of the actual page. But the most important thing always is just going to be the main part, which is the VSL itself. Biggest mistake I see people make here is they're like, hey, thanks for purchasing this product. Let me show you this other really cool product that we have that can help you out with this. Terrible way to frame it, okay? What you need to understand is that when people buy something online, as soon as they purchase, they click complete order. Does the purchase anxiety that they have built up, does that just go away? No, it doesn't. It's still there. And you need to acknowledge that in your copy. You always need to meet people where they are. There's a famous copywriting saying that says, you want to enter the conversation in the prospect's mind. I like to take it farther. Enter the conversation in their mind. Okay, cool. Enter the emotion and their body. Oh, cool. Let's take it one step further. Enter the level of consciousness in their spirit. You see how deep we get? That's the level that you want to think at. So what level of consciousness that they're at currently? What emotions are they feeling? What are they thinking? And you want to acknowledge them. You want to meet them there. And so instead of having a VSL or something that's selling the upsell product, it's just like, hey, thank you so much for purchasing. Here's this other product. You want to ease that post-purchase anxiety so that you can get them to purchase the next one. What that means is painting the picture of what their life is going to look like after they actually use your product. That's the fucking key. You want to paint the outcome of what it's going to be like purchasing the product that they already purchased. Like, this isn't the upsell product. They already bought it. Paint that picture. What does it really look like? What does their life look like? What are they feeling? What are their emotions? Are they going to be able to, like, pain relief product, right? Are they going to be able to like struggle to get up out of a chair? Or are they going to be able to get up with ease? Are they going to be able to have more time with their family, with their kids? Are they going to be able to finally be able to like drive without any shoulder or elbow pain? Stuff like that, you know? That's the biggest thing that I see these people miss, because after you do that, then you can create a perfect gap between that perfect outcome, idealized situation, and the new product that you're going to be selling. All right. Next question. Nathan, what's good? Got a store pumping right now. 2.5 mil last 90 days. Nice. Using gem pages. Haven't tested advertorials. Do you think it's worth it? I don't know the product that you're selling, but the answer is probably yes. It's very very likely yes. We like this is literally what we do inside of one of our programs, bro. We take people that are doing numbers. Like it's only for people that are doing numbers. Like if you're not doing the average revenue is probably like 250K a month. We have some of the biggest brand owners literally in the space in that group. And typically the first thing that we tell them is that, all right, dude, you're not running funnels. You need to be running funnels. Let's implement an advertorial page. Let's implement some good upsells and OTOs. And they just start like it's insane. They start printing virtually overnight. I think it's absolutely worth it to test. Sleepy, is this recorded? I swear to fucking God, Sleepy. I'm fucking. How much spend per angle test? 4x AOV? 4x is a little high, dude. I'd probably aim for like 3x AOV realistically. 4x your CPA maybe, but I'd do like 2 to 3x your AOV. All right, guys. Let's finish it off. I think we've been going for about an hour. Yeah, like an hour and 10. Let's fucking finish it off with a bang. Spam the fucking questions. Spam the chat. Let's make some really good ones before I get out of here. I gotta go hike that fucking glacier. Cheech. All right. What was your daily routine when you were in the trenches? When you were in school / working a job? So when I was in school, bro, I would usually wake up and go straight to my first class, and typically like my day was filled with about 3 to 4 hours of classes, 1 to 2 hours of studying, 1 to 2 hours in the gym. Everything else was on the business. Now that's a lot of time. That's like 8 hours right there, which means the other 8 hours was going to the business. I think people really misunderstand how much time they actually have in a good way, right? You're asleep for 8 hours. Like, let's say you get a full fucking 8. I wasn't getting a full 8 hours of sleep. Let's say you were. I mean, you have 8 hours for school, 8 hours for sleep. You're still left with 8 additional fucking hours. That's a lot of time. And if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit on sleep in the short term, I know you fucking trolls in my comments or chat be like, Mark, actually, you shouldn't sacrifice your sleep. It's really important to your long term. Fuck you, all right? Some rules are fucking meant to be broken, all right? That's just the truth. And for a short period of time, fuck it, all right? You don't really have any money in the first place to begin with. At least I didn't. And so that was something that I was totally willing to sacrifice for a short period of time, all right? It's not going to be forever, just a short period of time, okay? You can stop typing out the message. I know, it's okay. But that's what it looked like, dude, is any time that I was not spending in the gym, at school, or sleeping, I was fucking working on my business. That's exactly what I was doing. I really, really enjoyed actually staying up late in college. It's kind of the nature of being in college anyways. Like the average time to go to sleep, I'd say, is like 1 a.m. anyways. So I was working from I'd typically get up around 7 to 8 a.m. and I'd go to sleep between 2 and 4 a.m. typically around there. So a lot of times I didn't get my 8 hours. Oh no. All right, I didn't literally mean spam the same question over and over again, guys. Come on now. Yeah, I gotta add a timer or something on that shit. Is $100 per day for testing enough? I have low budget. If you have a low budget, dude, don't run ads. Sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but that's just I want you to succeed, man. And ads are complicated, especially if you don't have any guidance. Yo, Mark, if you want to reach Spanish audience / clients, hit me up. Hit me up. I don't know who you are. But I think you're the guy that's been spamming Viva Argentina the whole time. So DM me. Let's see another quick questions. Didn't get his 8 hours and bro is still jacked and rich. Optimizer's mad. Crazy, isn't it? I really believe some rules were meant to be broken. I'm much better at sleeping now. But bro, there's a time like every entrepreneur goes through a season. I made a video like a few videos ago talking about seasons. I was in fucking winter, all right? I was willing to sacrifice just about everything. Sleep was nothing to me. I did not give a flying fuck. Right? If sacrificing sleep meant I was finally able to make some money and like be able to afford my next tuition payment and drop out of college and live the life I want to live, bro, fine. For a short period of time. Again, the optimizers are all gonna be fucking mad at me, but I feel like that's a good place to end it. If you guys do want to work with me more closely, you can always click the first link in the description and apply for Brand Builders Academy. I also want to show you, I am hosting this event in Dubai, February 28th to March 3rd. It's called the Elite Mastermind, only for advanced entrepreneurs. So unless you're generating some good revenue already, at least 50 to 100K per month, this is not for you. But if that is you and you're generating some money and you want to be around literally the best minds in the entire industry, I want to see you in fucking Dubai, all right? Click the link, it's in the description. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have any other questions, just send me a DM on IG right here. But that's it. I hope you all have a great one. Happy fucking New Year. Let's make 2025 the best fucking year of your life, eh? What do you say? Let's step the fuck up, live up to our fucking potential, and destroy it. I want to see all of you at the end of this fucking year on another live that I'm hosting being like, Mark, I made this money. I'm fucking jacked. I'm this. I'm that. I want that to be you. All right? Let's fucking go. Later, guys.